Know that I got it made.
Yeah.
Know that I got it made. Know that I got it made. I'm taking it back when rap was real back in the old days. Know that I got it made. Know that I got it made. I'm taking it back when rap was real back. Greetings, YouTube. A line unleashed back at you from right here at the Green Thumb Gardening Channel, right here in Grow Zone 8B in Tifton, Georgia. Today is indeed Thursday, December the 3rd, 2020, YouTube. And it's been approximately 2 weeks, YouTube, 16 days to be exact. This brought you guys our last video update on propagating fig trees from cuttings, YouTube. And a lot has changed, YouTube. If you guys have been following the video series on our on propagating fig tree cuttings, you guys recall that in our last video update, we brought you a day 40 update on our Celeste fig tree cuttings that we were propagating. You've also been following the video series. You recall that we, in the beginning, attempted to propagate a total of about 30 Celeste fig tree cuttings, YouTube. Well, during the propagation process, we did lose a few, as can be expected. That's why we attempted to propagate as many as we did. We knew that we would lose a few during the propagation process. We also gave away a few of our Celeste fig trees that we successfully propagated during this propagation experiment, YouTube. And at this point, we've been left with a total of 24 successfully propagated Celeste fig tree cuttings, YouTube. I'm going to flip this camera around for you guys right now, YouTube, and show you guys exactly what has happened in approximately the past 16 days since we brought you guys our day 40 update on propagating Celeste fig tree cuttings. Hang tight, YouTube. All right, YouTube, we're back here at our grow table, here our front grow table in our high tunnel greenhouse here, YouTube. We have a total of 21 of the 24 successfully propagated fig tree cuttings that we're currently growing here in our high tunnel greenhouse, YouTube. And again, it's been 16 days since we brought you guys our last video update on propagating these fig tree cuttings, YouTube. I'm going to give you guys a quick reminder of what our Celeste fig tree cuttings looked like during our last video update. And this, YouTube, this is indeed at day 56, YouTube. At day 56, this is indeed what our 21 of 24 Celeste fig tree cuttings are currently looking like right here on our front grow table in our high tunnel greenhouse. Take a look at this, YouTube. Bam! Can you guys see that, YouTube? Our Celeste fig trees have really taken off here in our high tunnel greenhouse, YouTube. We have some very extensive growth on several of our Celeste fig trees, YouTube. They are all happy, a pretty deep green, putting on lots and lots of new foliage, new limbs, and new vegetation here, YouTube. And we couldn't possibly be more excited about how well our propagation experiment is currently going, with 24 of the original 30 Celeste fig trees that we propagated from cuttings, YouTube. Aren't they indeed looking well, YouTube? These things are growing at a geometric rate here in our 20 foot by 10 foot by 7 foot high tunnel greenhouse here, YouTube. And again, we're super excited. We're super excited about the rate in which they're growing, and by seeing all of the vigorous new growth that they're actually putting on a daily basis, YouTube. I mean, we come out here about every other day now that the weather has changed to actual cold weather here, YouTube. We don't open up our greenhouse every day. We try to keep it our moisture level in here and our humidity level and our heat level as balanced as possible in here to avoid shocking our plants in any way, YouTube. But again, all 21 of these Celeste fig tree cuttings that we currently have on our grow table here, our front grow table here in our high tunnel, YouTube, are indeed looking well and vigorously growing for us here, YouTube. And at the beginning of this experiment, we had no idea whether we would actually successfully propagate any of the cuttings, YouTube. This is our first real attempt at propagating fruit trees And I tell you, YouTube, it's really exciting to see our cuttings that virtually all started out looking something about like this. You know, go from this to this, YouTube, in about a month and a half. I mean, it's been about roughly about a good month and a half since we up-potted our fully rooted fig tree cuttings from 1.5 from 1 quart containers up to these 1 gallon containers. This one is still at about a half gallon container here. We need to up pot this guy, but it's been about, again, a month and a half since we up potted our fig tree cuttings from 1 quart containers, YouTube, into 1 gallon containers and placed them here atop our front grow table here in our high tonal greenhouse, YouTube. And you guys can see in that background we have a box fan that we placed strategically to blow breeze across from front to rear in our greenhouse. We also have a ceiling fan up here that drops a breeze from top to bottom in our greenhouse and really creates a circular air effect in here in our greenhouse and really keeps the air well stirred and circulating here in our high tonal greenhouse. And that has a lot, it goes a long ways in as far as propagation goes, YouTube, to have good airflow across your plants. Trust me, when you're trying to propagate or germinate seeds or anything, especially in a greenhouse, you got to have good airflow. If you don't, fungus and mildew and mold will develop on not only your cuttings but in your soil, on the vegetation of your the foliage of your plants and everything, YouTube. So you got to have a constant flow of air across your plants and your containers when you're growing in a greenhouse, when you're germinating seeds in a greenhouse, when you're propagating from cuttings in a greenhouse, YouTube. You got to have that constant flow of air blowing across your greenhouse and across your plants and your containers, YouTube. But I tell you, I couldn't possibly be more excited and pleased at this point by the rate in which our plants have grown for us here, YouTube. Again, it's super exciting to see our fig trees go from plain bare cuttings to something like this right here in about a month and a half time, YouTube. It's really exciting to see this type of progress in our cuttings, and we're really hoping to see this same type of growth with our propagated fig tree cuttings during the rest of the fall and winter months here in our high tonal greenhouse, YouTube. We haven't done much to our cuttings. We don't water them that much until the soil actually really begins to dry out. The first 2 to 2.5 inches of soil begins to dry out, and then we add a little water to each of our containers. We don't want to cause any root rot in our containers, so we don't overwater them. We don't water them to the point where water runs from the drain holes in the bottom. We don't do that. Fig trees don't like a tremendous amount of water. And again, it's the fall and winter months here, so there's not a whole bunch of evaporation going on, especially inside of this greenhouse where the moisture actually gets recycled at night. It kind of literally rains in here at night. If you came out here at night, YouTube, you would see droplets of water like those up there on top of our greenhouse right now, falling down all across about our greenhouse and all of our containers and plants and everything like that in our greenhouse at night, YouTube. So we don't really require a lot of water on these right now. We haven't had some colder temperatures. Our coldest temperature so far has been 28 the other night, YouTube, and on that night I think our temperatures inside of our high tonal greenhouse actually dropped down to about 43 degrees in here, YouTube, and everything in here took it extremely well. We will be adding a heat source to our greenhouse here if we see or expect to see temperatures of that drop that low here again in our grow area, YouTube. But at any rate, YouTube, this is indeed on day 56, YouTube. What? 21 of our current 24 Celeste fig trees are currently looking like YouTube. Again, day 56 and our 21 Celeste fig trees on our front row table are indeed looking spectacularly well, YouTube. Thanks for watching this video. And if indeed you currently are watching this video on propagating Celeste fig tree cuttings and you're not already subscribed to the Green Thoughts Gardening channel, please take this moment to put that subscribe button beneath this video, that like button, that notification button, and be sure, YouTube, be sure to share this video with your friends and family as well. Yeah. Day 56. Propagating fig tree cuttings in our high tunnel greenhouse. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Know that I got it made. Yeah. Know that I got it made. Know that I got it made. I'm taking it back when rap was real back in the old days. Know that I got it made. Know that I got it made. I'm taking it back when rap was real back in the old days. Do you remember this? We call it old school. I'm talking about when rap was real, there was no auto-tunes. You had to really sing. You had to really rap in order to get them up out the seats and make their hands clap. But now it's auto-tunes on everybody's voice you hear. No message mumble rapping, they ain't even speaking clear. But I won't ever change, I keep it old school. They let me in the game and now I make my own rules. Yeah. Know that I got it made. Know that I got it made. Know that I got it made. I'm taking it back when rap was real back in the old days. This one for real rappers, artists like Tupac. He made the whole world feel him before he got shot. This one for real rappers, artists like Biggie Smalls. He reached the world with his music and he touched us all. This one for real rappers, artists like Eazy-E. I miss you, homie, and I know you smiling down at me. This one for real singles, artists like Marvin Gaye. Didn't need no auto-tune to sing, just let the music play. Know that I got it made. Know that I got it made. Know that I got it made.